not too much hunting experience, just a little bit here and there. I've been hunting, but never really like into it as much as like, I really want to be. So this is kind of like, one of the first times I've ever done something like this. It was cold, but yeah, I was excited getting in those Jeeps with the rifles and getting ready to take off on the first hunt. I didn't know what we were going to see.
No one ever forgets their first look at the West Texas desert. For one United States Marine still carrying shrapnel from mortar fire in Iraq, this towering, rolling landscape is a dream come true. Eric Shaffer has never seen a desert mule deer before, but his guide Matt Schwartz and spotter Sammy Lessie are about to change all that.
Come on, you got me on camera singing that? Oh.
I've been on some whitetail deer hunts on the East Coast, and I've never seen a mule deer before. The animal were moving around from the beginning, so I knew it was going to be a good day. This area is beautiful. It's a sportsman's paradise. All the different deer running around. I've seen more deer in these last 2 or 3 days than I've seen my entire life in one place. I'm with two guys that, I trust their judgment and their word for it, and they're going to get us as close as we can to take a shot.
In a way, Eric is a guest on hallowed ground. They call it the High Lonesome Ranch, and every year Show of Support sends a few combat veterans out here for a mule deer hunt in December. Matt and Sammy have done this many times before, and in many ways, this is the highlight of their hunting season.
I've been to Iraq 3 times and Afghanistan twice. I initially went to Iraq in 2003 for the initial invasion. I went back in 2004, and then again in 2008. We were guarding a exploded oil pipeline, and the enemy launched mortar rounds at us, and I took shrapnel from one of the mortar rounds.
It may have been shrapnel that took him out of the fight, but it's Eric's fighting spirit that led him to the top of the Marine Corps elite group of drill instructors. For guys like Eric, it's taking a raw recruit and in 12 weeks completely rearranging his thoughts, actions, reflexes, and decision-making capabilities up until that day when one more man or woman can wear the golden eagle of the United States Marine Corps.
What makes us so special is we're the smallest of the branches, and not that many people can actually have what it takes to become a United States Marine. When you take this, this raw, United States citizen, and you turn him into a United States Marine, that's a great feeling, a sense of accomplishment, knowing that you've accomplished something in 13 weeks. You've transformed this guy's whole life into a Marine, and that's something he's going to be forever. It's the hardest 12 weeks that they'll endure. I mean, we're making Marines. It's got to be hard. It's 12 weeks that could save a guy's life. We have a saying, once a Marine, always a Marine. So that's a title that he's going to carry with him for the rest of his life.
He's 850 yards away. 850.
Somewhere on that hillside is a buck Matt and Sammy want to get closer to.
That's a 4.5-year-old deer. He needs another year or 2, and he'd be much thicker.
Eric Shaffer is ready to squeeze the trigger and feel the recoil of his brand new rifle. As Show of Support, Hunt for Heroes continues.
We're not politically correct, we just have common sense.
Unscripted, unfiltered, unfaltering. Show of Support's Hunt for Heroes offers tributes and true stories of remarkable courage.
If these terrorists could come in your bedroom and kill you, your wife, and your kids, and that's what these men are fighting to protect us from, these murdering idiots. And they're taking them out so that we don't have to deal with them over here.
Show of Support started it all just after the shock and awe bound a nation together. Now, years of footage portraying wounded veterans, deer stands, and standing ovations. Hunt for Heroes, that started as one man's way to say thanks, is now a series that many say is way overdue.
I ain't never felt like that before, and I want to feel that again.
It's just a raw emotion.
They left us being loved and being honored for the heroes that they are.
We still have 40,000 injured troops.
If you threaten our people and our way of life, We will find you wherever you may be hiding, in the place you feel most safe, and we'll kill you in your own bedroom. Thank you for being a country worth fighting for. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
It's going to take a while to get around to all of them, but there's no quitting. It'll never stop as long as I'm breathing.
The western edge of legendary Texas Hill Country. After 8 years of intensive wildlife management, Lonesome Dove Ranch offers trophy deer hunts for the upcoming fall season. Lonesome Dove Ranch, where each hunt is one-on-one with a spacious lodge, Texas-style meals, and opportunities for rifle or archery hunts. See our website at huntlonesomedove.com and make plans to join us for this first season of Texas whitetail hunting at its best. huntlonesomedove.com.
What's your message? Century Graphics and Sign in Midland can help you convey it. Century Graphics and Sign offers the very best in screen printing, interior and exterior signs, embroidery, custom vinyl graphics, helping you increase safety, promoting your company, showing your school spirit, helping you look cool. Century Graphics and Sign, 501 West Industrial in Midland. Find us on the web at centurygs.com or like us on Facebook.
At Security Bank, we're business bankers who find solutions. We serve our business clients with a team of experts. Each team is made up of commercial bankers who know your industry, know your market, and know your business challenges. This team approach gives you more expertise and more personalized service to move your business forward. Security Bank, solutions.
It's a well-known fact the people of West Texas know the importance of hard work, determination, and drive. For years, TCO Field Services has been a part of the expanding petroleum industry. Another well-known fact is the admiration West Texans have for America's troops. Plain and simple, military heroes don't have a better friend than the hard-working folks in West Texas. At TCO, we never lose sight of the job done by our military, keeping us safe here in West Texas.
It's rough terrain, but it's something that we look forward to as Marines. You know, we don't always want to take the easy way. So this terrain here is, I find it to be fascinating.
Fantastic. These are warriors, sir?
These are
they Marines?
How you doing, sir? Yes, sir.
Bob Hollingsworth. Good to meet you.
The more days that pass, the more Eric Shaffer remembers that first day here at the High Lonesome Ranch. He arrived here with Roger Ruiz, another combat veteran with show of support. The more Eric sees of this hunting camp in the desert, the more he can't wait to kill a West Texas mule deer.
I was looking for a challenge and to do something different that I haven't already experienced before.
Greeting Eric is show of support founder Terry Johnson and Marine Corps General Bob Hollingsworth.
This camp is one of the coolest camps I've ever been in. To me, this is like an ideal camp to me. You got the tents, you got the chow being served over the hot coals. It's really a great place to spend some time. In the words how I felt when he brought that gear over and then finished it off by bringing over that brand new rifle for us to hunt with out here. It was a feeling that I've never felt before.
In the morning, Eric, you're going to go with me.
Okay.
As it turns out, on the last afternoon of his hunt, the memories of receiving that rifle seem so long ago. He's back in a remote canyon miles away from camp with Matt Swartz and Sammy Lessie.
He looks like a shooter to me.
Yeah, he's outside the ears.
He's just a 6 point, but he's tall. He's a tall deer.
Oh, wow. As soon as they said you could shoot that deer, it was game on. We're grabbing the rifle out of the truck, grabbing the aiming stakes, and heading straight into that deer. I've been whitetail deer hunting a few times, and you can't pull this stuff on whitetails. The way the mule deer's defense mechanism to kind of just freeze there. I wanted to make sure that we got a really good shot on this one, so I was really nervous squeezing that trigger back.
Right behind the shoulder, 106, that'll be perfect.
Okay, he's going down. Going down.
Look at him. Look at him go down. He's down.
Boom! You got him!
What do you think about that?
Yeah.
Good job, sir.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Nice shot.
Congratulations.
Okay, he's not going anywhere. I'll go get the Jeep, and I'll meet y'all down there, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
It really caught me off guard and had me kind of shocked that we were able to walk up within 100 yards of this deer and take a shot on him. I believe the shot was 106 yards.
I see him. See his horn?
Yep. Yep, I see him. Oh, well, when I first grabbed that deer, I couldn't believe that I was able to take down such a big deer out here. Deer, 150-pound dressed out mule deer, was just a fantastic feeling to be able to grab that deer and bring it back to camp. And you know, I'll never forget these guys out here, Matt and Sammy, two great guides leading me up to that deer. I wouldn't have been able to find that deer if it wasn't for them out there helping me out.
The celebration at Eric Shaffer's first mule deer isn't over, not by a long shot. As Show of Support Hunt for Heroes continues. Stay with us.
Terry's a great guy. I mean, he put all this together for us. He spent his birthday up here with us. Yesterday was his birthday. So I can give him anything for his birthday is bringing a big deer back to camp. It felt good to bring something back, show him, you know, the accomplishments that we're able to make off of the sacrifices he's made to bring us out here.
It's a hunt in the West Texas desert Eric Shaffer will never forget.
This comes from a lot of people, a lot of proud Americans. Midland is the easiest place in the world to put this on because it's so patriotic.
As a year passes at this remote hunting camp, another hunting season arrives. So too does another group of American combat veterans.
When I got accepted to Show of Support, I was kind of in disbelief. I'd heard such great things about it, and I didn't expect to be able to come just because I know that there's a lot of veterans out there, you know. So when I got the call, and I'm still excited now, and I'm here. You know, I'm very thankful for that. No one's ever given me a gun before, ever. I'll say that. It was like a profound thing. I'm still in disbelief about it, in all honesty, but and I've never shot a bolt-action rifle like that with a scope either. So my goal once I got it is like I have to make sure that I earn it and go out and be successful out in the hunt here. I'm still excited about it. Like it's an amazing thing, and I honestly think it's one of the best gifts I've gotten in my entire life.
Every year, when a new group of American heroes arrives at camp, Show of Support founder Terry Johnson and the hunting guides at the High Lonesome Ranch make a presentation of hunting gear and a brand new rifle, complete with a scope, and a chance to kill a desert mule deer buck. The hunt starts early the next morning. But before they can turn in for the night, United States Marine Eric Hicks shares his story with everyone huddled around the campfire.
The United States got attacked in 2001, and we went to war, and I enlisted on my 18th birthday, and as soon as I could, I left right after high school. My first deployment, before we even got into Fallujah, I was sitting on the back of a Humvee on my Mark 19, and the ground guy it was like pitch black at our fob, and he walked too wide. Humvee flipped over, so all I remember is just waking up, and there's like the Humvee on top of me. And
as it turns out, that accident would only be the least of his problems.
Later in that deployment, went to Fallujah, and that was pretty intense. And during that, I got grenade shrapnel in my butt, $1 million wound. Some other things happened while I was in Afghanistan back home, as far as my spouse goes. So then, and I'm sure some of you can imagine what that might be, coming back to that, and then dealing with that, and then transitioning out, and then initially not having a job and stuff. It was extremely rough. But since then, up until now, things have turned around, and love my wife, love my kids, and hopefully I'll be a diesel mechanic soon. I'm sorry it took so long.
The night passes slowly as the campfire embers fade, and the horizon reveals a broken West Texas landscape for Eric Hicks.
This country, while beautiful, is definitely not something that you would want to wind up alone in unless you knew how to survive.
A crowded Jeep with spotters in the back and hunting guide Ed Uzel at the wheel, Eric is mesmerized by this vast, open, and never-ending desert.
We're riding around, remind me of Jurassic Park, being out there, even though it's, very cold in the morning. You're so excited that you're not you're cold, but you're not thinking about, oh, it's cold. You're thinking about, okay, it's perfect time for a deer to come out. So it's just great. It's just great. When I came out here and I saw the landscape, one, I was amazed at how vast it was. And two, it actually it's almost identical to some parts on Camp Pendleton, which is where I was stationed. And I felt like that I was on Camp Pendleton again for a while, which also made me feel good. It's just like an at-home feeling about it, and a peace being out here in nature, and especially in this landscape is beautiful. It's amazing, and pictures do not do it justice.
Eric Hicks, an American combat hero, has a passion finally fulfilled: to join the ranks of American deer hunters, immersing himself in that culture of campfires, canyons, and camaraderie, all found on a warm afternoon in the West Texas desert.
This time has been the first time I've ever gone out and hunted anything. Ultimately my goal is to get some land, some property, and become as off the grid and self-sufficient as possible. And part of that is hunting, learning to hunt, and everything that entails doing that, and being able to survive and living off the land. I became extremely adamant about it, actually, and moved from California to Colorado. And the experience has been absolutely profound. I've already learned so much.
Stretching for miles and miles in this upper Chihuahuan desert, the High Lonesome Ranch is a vast, hidden habitat for mule deer. Eric has a new crew on his team for this warm afternoon hunt: Jeff Williams and spotter Patrick Bliznak. To watch Eric experience the broken landscape is to watch someone who relishes everything about this desert. Eric, Jeff, and Patrick cruise through several pastures as the sun begins to stretch and the shadows begin to shrink. Then, several hours after leaving camp, they spot a buck bedded down up on a slope.
You know how to shoot. You're well versed to shoot all the time. But when you have an animal in your sights or a buck in your sights, it's just like the adrenaline rush is so strong that it can make you, extremely jittery and hyper. When I got the deer in the crosshairs, I did take a moment to try to calm myself down, and I was just looking at him. Beautiful animal. You know when it's right, when you finally can relax, a natural breathing pattern. It's almost basically a wrestling match between the deer fever and trying to calm yourself down. A lot of push-pull there. It's something that I'm going to have to work on. It's something to overcome.
Hey, that's a really good 8-point. He's exactly what we're looking for. Go ahead and take the shot.
All right.
Suddenly, Eric watches the buck stand up. He acts quick before the buck takes off.
Yeah, buddy. That's awesome.
Congratulations, buddy. That was a hell of a shot. That was
Thank you. Thank you.
That was the only shot you had, but
I appreciate it. I was so elated that I almost blacked out, basically. But in a good way. I was just like, euphoria would be the word. When he went down, it's just awesome. One of the main things that they're doing here for you, and to be able to accomplish that and make yourself proud, your family proud, and everyone else that's been here rooting for you proud is just an amazing thing. And once he fell down, I knew that was that moment, and it's that moment that I'll never forget for the rest of my life. Not 1 ounce of it. I'll never forget it. Walking up to the deer, I was still extremely excited. I wanted to see him. I wanted to see what he looked like, how big he was, and then I knew that at that moment, we were going to do the cleaning, so I wanted to, my mind was racing because I wanted to get to that and get more learning in. And I was also thinking, man, I'm tired because we're walking up a hill. But we got up there, and it was a profound thing, and I just felt like I wanted to give it the respect that all the animals do deserve, and I honestly appreciate it, and I'm going to use all of them, and I couldn't be more thankful.
good job.
Thank you. When I grabbed him, that's the first time I've ever touched a deer before. So picking him up, just making sure that I didn't wound him in the wrong spot and that he was actually dead, which he was. There are many things that are profound during this experience, but that was definitely one of the more profound things that I have experienced thus far. That is awesome.
Eric Hicks may have gotten his buck, but the world got a better deal. We just saw the conversion of one more deer hunter added to the culture of the great outdoors. This celebration on a West Texas hillside is cut short.
That's the best way.
It's a long drive back to camp, and the sun is only getting hotter.
So when we roll into camp, my guide and host was blasting the siren on, which brings everybody into where you're coming in so they can see the deer that you got. So during that, I was excited. I was hoping that the deer was something that the other hunters here would say it was a good deer. And they did, and everybody was congratulating me and patting me on the back. You feel like a king at that moment. It's like getting first place in something. Everybody's happy for you. It just makes you feel really good.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
For several days in December, Eric Hicks has been admired and looked up to as an American hero. Now finally welcomed into the fold of American hunters. It's what the show of support, Hunt for Heroes, is all about. Sharing the love of hunting with those who deserve it most.
This experience has definitely been one of the best experiences in my life. I plan on continuing learning about hunting. Once I become proficient, I'm going to go ahead and teach my children everything about it that I can and make it a lifetime thing, and ultimately hope to be able to support my family in this way by hunting. I definitely understand why so many people are in love with it.